Hi guys, and welcome to my uh, new video, new topic on American football on the NFL. And this today is a season preview. So we're gonna go through the what's gonna come up in the season and stuff. Uh, Obviously we start with the NFL kickoff game on the 9th of September. Dallas playing the Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Bucks, which will be a really entertaining game. I believe. I think that's a really great way to start the NFL season. I think it's going to be good. And then obviously we've got to look as we go through the season. We know that we have a Thanksgiving weekend that is big. This year there's a Christmas Day game also, and we know um, subject to COVID and things being okay, we have two games back in London as well. I'm from the UK. I'm from the northeast of England, so obviously the London games are massive over here. And this year, our two games from Tottenham's new stadium, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, is the New York Jets versus the at the Atlanta Falcons on October the 10th, and we also have Miami at Jacksonville on the 17th. I know that both kickoffs are set to be half two kickoff in the UK, so quite an early game for us. But that means it will be finished in time for either the 5 o'clock or the 6 o'clock and the 9 o'clock uh, kickoff times over here as well. Also, obviously, we look forward to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving this year will be on the Thursday, the 25th of November, and the three games will be the Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions. Also, on those three games, there will be the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Dallas Cowboys, and then to finish off, what could be an absolute barnstormer, the Buffalo Bills at the New Orleans Saints. So those are three great games for Thanksgiving. Um, there's two games scheduled on Christmas Day as well this year, so that's a bit of an anomaly because we don't always have games on Christmas Day. Those games will be Cleveland at Green Bay and Indianapolis at Arizona. So those are two games on Christmas Day. So that's an extra treat. Um, one other thing, another thing this season we have an extra week. Uh, we have an 18 game season. An 18 a week. So normally, from previous years, we've had 17 games, but this year we have 18 games this season, an extra game. So that will be interesting as well. So if we go, if we have a look at the um, the fixtures from week one, looking into it, we look into the fixtures for week one. Um, Obviously, the Super Bowl champion, the first game of the season will obviously, as I mentioned, will be uh, Dallas Cowboys against defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which will be a good game to start the season off. I think we are excited. I'm excited for the new season. The London Games being back is massive over here. Um, I think Tom Brady obviously proved with the Tampa Bay Bucks that he's still got it to win another Super Bowl. As a full disclaimer, as a New England Patriots fan, um, it was a positive and negative seeing him win a Super Bowl with another team, but um, But looking ahead to the first week of the season, obviously there's some cracking games going through the season. But if we look at week one, on the Sunday, um, all these are all of the these all of these games are at the early time of 6 p.m. in the UK. And so we have Jags versus the Houston Texans. We have the LA Chargers versus the Washington Football Team. We have Seattle Seahawks at the Indianapolis Colts. We have the New York Jets versus the Carolina Panthers. We have Minnesota at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Arizona Cardinals at Tennessee Titans. We have San Francisco 49ers against the Detroit Lions. We have also at Pittsburgh at Buffalo. We have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Atlanta Falcons. And then over here, the next kickoff time is 25 past 9 in the UK. So in that bracket we have Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs. Runners up in the Super Bowl last season. Super Bowl winners the season before last. So should be an interesting game, that one. And what could be a highlight of week one is Green Bay at the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees retired. A new look, in a way, a new look New Orleans Saints team. A really hard start there against Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers in pre-season been another few murmurings of him being unhappy. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plans out. We got the Denver Broncos versus at the New York Giants. And we've got Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots and my team. And then we have Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football, where Sunday Night Football is 20 past 1 in the UK, our time. And that's the Chicago Bears at the LA Rams. So that looks good. Looks like a good game. And then Monday Night Football starts with Baltimore Ravens at the LA Raiders. So those are the games for week one. That's week one. I'm gonna go flash forward to week 18, which is obviously this week 18's an extra game now because we have an 18 game season. So I'm just gonna say who's playing who there. This extra game's a really interesting thing in the NFL. Obviously we used to 17 week game seasons. This week 18's a really interesting thing, and they went quite big with some of the matchups in that week also. So we look through these. We've got Dallas at Philadelphia. We have Green Bay Packers at Detroit Lions. We've got the Colts versus the Jags. We've got Washington versus New York Giants. We've got the Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. You've got the Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You've got New England Patriots at Miami, divisional rivals, so another big game. You've got the Saints at you've got the Saints at the Falcons. You've got the Titans at Houston Texans. I think that's another divisional game. You've got Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. Another big game. Giants at Bills, which is a divisional rival game again. You've got Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns, which will be another big game. The LA Chargers at Las Vegas Raiders, which will be a good game. San 49ers versus the Rams, LA Rams. Also, you've got the Kansas City Chiefs and at the Denver Broncos, and then you've got Seattle Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals. So those are all big games to finish off the season with. Those are all big games to finish the season with, and to have that extra game in the season is a new dynamic. We look into the season, and that last week teams could be needing to win that last game to get into the playoffs or to win a division. So it gives a new dynamic to the NFL season this season. And obviously we have obviously we know this we know one change as well for this new season. There's no double header on Monday Night Football in week one. That becomes just one game this year. So that's another new thing from the league. So if we look at the NFL draft as well. Obviously the number one pick was Trevor Lawrence, who it's been said that he's the best first round pick since Andrew Luck. So obviously that's a big thing on his shoulders, big reputation he's coming in with the NFL with, but he is a rookie. I feel like we've got this season. I think youth will be given a chance more. I think they will take a risk. I think a few teams have drafted quite a few rookies. So I think rookies and youth will be given a chance more than there have been previous seasons. We've seen a few teams drafting quarterbacks as well. You got Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, that was drafted. You've got Trey Jackson, I think, drafted also. You've got other positions. I think teams this year, I think getting to that Super Bowl becomes massive this year under this new 18-week season 2. I think obviously with last year it was quite hit by COVID. A lot of people who didn't play through COVID. So I think this season it's a little bit back to normal, and a few new additions with the extra game and free agency moves as well. Some big free agency moves. I'm just going to list a few here. We got Andy Dalton going from Dallas to Chicago. You've got Ryan Fitzpatrick going to Washington from Miami. Mitch Trubisky to the Buffalo Bills. At running back, you've got Breda going to Buffalo. You've got Rex Burhead going to Houston. You've got James Conner going to Arizona. Drake to go to the Raiders. You've got William Gallman San Francisco 49ers. Mark Ingram Jr. going to Houston. Lindsay going to Houston. And then we've got obviously some of the big moves in the wide receiver position as well. You've got Nelson Aguilar going to the New England Patriots. You've got John Brown going to Las Vegas. Sorry, you've got AJ Green going to Arizona. You've got Cordell Patterson going to Atlanta. You've got Sammy Watkins going to Baltimore. Emmanuel Sanders to Buffalo. Those are some big moves there. And we've had a lot of movement over the season, over the preseason. We've had some interesting trades too. We've had, obviously, if I announce some of the retirements we've had in end of the in pre-season as well, and end of last season, we've seen the retirement of Drew Brees, former Super Bowl Super Bowl winner. Thomas Davis has retired as well. Julian Edelman retired. Mike Pouncey, Philip Rivers has retired. Demarius Thomas has retired. Adam Vinatieri's retired. Jason Witten has retired. They were all names that have been in the NFL for a long career. So we wish them well in their future endeavours. That's a lot of them players are very much experienced players. So yeah, that's been good. So if we go to the draft bit, we go to talk about the draft. And yeah, the draft was big this season, and I think as well. I think this season, especially with the extra game and the new rule changes, I think it's important to. Get right. I think it makes week one as important as ever. I think. I think week one becomes very important. And I think we've got a few teams there now in New England who are in rebuild mode. We've got teams like Dallas that has to be better than last season, but with Dak Prescott back as well, we've got players who have been injured last season coming back into the league. So it's going to be an interesting season. I'm going to look. Obviously, we've had the draft a few weeks back, and I'm going to give the first round picks of the draft. So Trevor Lawrence went to the Jaguars. We've had Zach Wilson go to the Jets, who's both quarterbacks. Trey Lance going to the 49ers. Kyle Pitts, tight end, going to Atlanta Falcons. We had Jamar Chase going to the Bengals. Jalen Waddle going to the Dolphins. Obviously, Jalen Waddle coming from Alabama. Alabama, who are probably the best side, one of the best sides in college football, if not the best side in college football in the last 10-15 years. So that's massive for the Miami Dolphins. Penei Sewell going to the Detroit Lions. We've got J.C. Horn going to the Carolina Panthers. You've got Patrick Surtain II going to the Broncos. Devontae Smith going to the Eagles from obviously from Alabama. As his college Heisman Trophy winner in 2020. Justin Fields going to the Bears from Ohio State. You've got Micah Parsons going to the Dallas Cowboys. Rashad Slater going to the Chargers. Tucker going to Jets. The Patriots have drafted first round for quite a lot of years. Mac Jones from Alabama, very much in the similar mould as Tom Brady, quite a low draft pick. Obviously, we got him 15. We were 15th pick in the draft, the Patriots, and we drafted him in 15. So similar mould as Tom Brady, but we see what he can do this season. We've got Collins, who went to the Cardinals. Leatherwood going to the Raiders. Phillips going to the Dolphins. Davis going to Washington Football Team Giants. Tony Caleb Farley going to the Titans. Davy Shaw going to Vikings. We've got Peyton Turner going to the Saints. Bateman to the Ravens. Newsom the second to the Cleveland Browns. Eric Stokes going to the Green Bay Packers. Peyton Turner going to the Saints. Rizzo going to the Bills. Away going to the Ravens. And obviously the last pick of the first round of the draft was obviously the Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafting Joe Tryon from Washington. So as we look through the obviously that was the first round of the draft. Obviously we've had some names come from round 2 and round 3 in the draft. I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of the names Landon Dickinson's went to the Eagles. Christian Barrymore's went to the Patriots. Elijah Moore goes to the Jets. A couple of other people. We look at Ronnie Perkins has went to the Patriots as well. So yeah, it's been a very, very good draft. There's a lot of movement. In the season. This season, obviously the NFL season starts in September. I can't wait for it. Obviously, I'm not going to do any predictions just yet. But I'm going to do predictions in a later video. But I hope you've enjoyed the content of going through the season. If you've got any questions about American football and the teams, please put messages in the comments section down below. I will do a preview, prediction and preview to week 1, preview to the first couple of weeks of the season at a later date. But thank you for watching, and see you all in the next video.